We've talked a lot about sales strategy, but where do you actually find clients? When you're starting your own CAS practice, where do you go? What do you do? How do you build something with clients? That's a building block, a foundational element of any CAS practice. So today we're going to talk about how do we go about finding new clients, particularly if you're on the front end of your firm building journey. So let's dive in. All right, welcome to another episode of CAS Minute. Today we're talking about how to find new clients for your CAS practice. This is kind of a beginner's guide, an overview, because it's an overwhelming process. I'm an accountant, I'm not a salesperson. How do I go about finding clients from scratch, especially in a competitive market? So, in thinking about how to identify where clients live and how to reach them, to the extent possible, if you have an existing network, I would start with them. Who are those people you've interfaced with over your career that have kind of led you down the path of starting your own firm? I'm suspecting it didn't happen in a vacuum. You spoke with other individuals about the idea of starting an outsourced accounting or a CAS practice, and they've given you a vote of confidence to step into this role. Leveraging existing relationships can start by just having a conversation and telling them, here's what I'm doing now. Here's what I'm good at. Here's what I'm interested in. You don't have to have the pressure of having a fully baked process or system or niche developed to be able to tell somebody what you can really excel at from a services standpoint. I would also, in your existing relationships, I would end the conversation with these two questions. One, is there anyone in your network that you believe that I should meet with? Or two, is there anybody that comes to mind that you feel like could utilize these services that we've been talking about? Once you're starting to frame people as thinking of you as a service provider that excels at a specific expertise, you're now positioning yourself in their mental model in a different frame than what they previously thought of you of. So your whole goal with your existing relationships is to translate their idea of who you are and what you do into a different version of that as now a firm owner that's looking to serve clients. The more that you can accomplish that within your existing network, the more that those referral opportunities will come in. Here's another tip. Get involved online. Utilize your presence online as a platform for thought leadership, positioning yourself as an expert, starting to build that trust and credibility through your voice and your expertise. Again, you don't need to be an influencer. You don't need to be a social media guru to be able to share your thoughts. It could be a long form written blog. It could be a LinkedIn post, anything that starts to demonstrate this value. And again, switch that mental model in others from you're an individual accountant servicing one company to now you're a firm owner providing a service. Anything that gets you across that bridge will be helpful to source new clients. Again, when you leverage your existing network, and you have that supported by an online presence that speaks to exactly what that conversation was about, you now start to expand the opportunity of people thinking of you in this mindset. Another path that I would contemplate going down is looking at referral sources. So this isn't just the existing network, the people who may be able to refer you business. It's partnering with other professionals who serve the same audience. Maybe if you're CAS only, it's a tax preparer. Maybe it's an HR consultant or IT provider. Oftentimes, these folks will be existing folks to your network that you've maybe interfaced in past roles, but really you want to be able to cast this wide net of other professionals who serve the same market. You need to explain to them how and why your value proposition and how you serve clients may differ slightly from the other provider down the road, and or a specific expertise in a niche that you can provide more value than somebody else that they may refer in. When you start to create those relationships, your goal is to be one of the top 3 people that they refer when looking for help for one of their clients or other connections in their industry. If you can be on the list of just 3 professionals that they recommend for CAS or accounting services, you're in the running. Now you flip into a sales process where you can actually articulate your value proposition. You have an at-bat. You're looking for at-bats here. So to the extent possible, let's cast a wide net. Let's articulate our value proposition. Let's aim to be one of the top 3 referrals that your network will provide. to get clients out of the gate, that's the easiest, fastest way to do it. The last thing that I'll hit on is that your physical presence is really important. So oftentimes when you're starting a new CAS practice, you're likely starting at the smaller end of the spectrum from a client size perspective. When you go to attend in-person events, local meetups, industry-specific conferences, trade shows, things like that, it can get pretty overwhelming. I like to start with really small circle networking events in my local area. You start to plant a flag to say, this is what I am, this is what I do, and this is how I can help you. So to the extent that you can get involved in in-person events in your local community, that allows you to cast a much wider net in order to bring those referrals into the early stages of your CAS practice. So I hope some of those tips are helpful from how do you get new sales into the door from a new CAS practice perspective. We've talked a lot about sales strategy. And so once you get that referral, once you get that initial connection point into the firm, that's when you flip to sales process. But you have to cast a different net. You have to take a different strategy in order to get those at-bats for the sales process. I hope that's helpful. Till next time.